we looking at this freaking AI thing? There's something else I wanted to look at before this though, or like, there's something somebody posted. Yeah, the jazz morphology matrix. Like, what the heck is this? Like, let's go away from sax centric stuff for a second. Like, how I went from 0 jazz piano skills to pro in 2 years. Charlie Tran. This has 100. Okay, in the jazz world, 100,000 views. You break 100,000 views, that's a lot of views. All right, if you like this video, it's just about building authentic jazz language at the piano. Okay, what's this? Okay, I got so excited. Stock vocabulary. For stock styles. Okay, I gotta watch this thing. Okay, okay. Let's watch this. Completely blind. Again, that's why we're doing reacting. This is completely blind. I've never seen this. I don't know anything that's going on in this video.
In just 2 years, I went from having 0 jazz skills to playing jazz piano professionally in both solo and ensemble setting.
Man, when somebody said, come on, bro. All right, listen. It's like, I'll be the judge of this. Cause you know, when somebody say this, here's the thing, bro. All right, let's very briefly. This won't be a yap session. I very briefly want to talk about one thing. So, when determining skill at anything, literally anything, I'm gonna namely talk about jazz, but I'm gonna actually talk about anything. We're talking about skill, technical execution, expressive ability in art. Professionalism has nothing to do with skill. Remember that. I want everybody to remember that. You saying that I can be a pro quickly, that's great. You have convinced somebody in 2025 who knows nothing about music to hire you for a function. Also, what level of pro are we talking about? Like, what level of pro? Are we talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I'm gonna shut up. Let me see what type of pro he's talking about, because I never heard of him. I never heard of Charlie Tran. Like, is he playing like $75 restaurant gigs, or is he playing with Christian McBride? I don't know a single person in history that went from 0 jazz nothing to playing with Christian McBride in 2 years. So like, I don't know. You know, there's different levels to what pro means. So
the only way this was even possible isn't because I'm some prodigy who was just ripping at age 7. Because believe me, I'm a late learner. It's because through my own constant failure and frustration and relentless curiosity in figuring out this whole jazz thing, I eventually knew
this whole jazz thing, by the way, okay,
had to come up with some sort of framework to make it all click. And when I did, it changed everything. And now I'm making this video to show you exactly how it works. And if you've been following me for a while.
All right, let's just skip through here. Is there any like, oh look, jump ahead. Okay.
Jazz morphology matrix. So what exactly?
Yeah, tell me, what is the jazz morphology matrix? Tell me what a jazz morphology. Yo, this kind of killing though. That's a killing. Maybe, all right. If it's one thing I'm gonna take from this cat, is maybe I'll make a tune called the Jazz Morphology Matrix. That's actually pretty killing. That's a killing. That's a killing type, bro. That's like Jazz Morphology Matrix jutsu. Morphology. All right, forget it. You know what? We're writing a tune called Morphology. You heard it here first. You heard it here, chat. We're making a tune called Morphology. I need to write it down in my notes. Unbelievable. Insane.
So what exactly is morphology? Morphology is the study of language, but specifically the study of the words within a language and how they're formed and how they're structured off of what we call morphemes. And morphemes are just the smallest units of meaning that make up these words. And so morphologists will study how these morphemes interact with each other and how meanings can be different depending on what comes after another morpheme, what comes before a morpheme, that kind of thing. And when it comes to jazz, it's no different. So what we need to do is we need to understand jazz down to its smallest units of meaning and how those units interact with each other. And I call this the stock vocabulary. So one of the misconceptions in learning jazz is that you sit there and you figure out your own vocabulary. But no, you learn the vocabulary that's already part of the language.
See, that I agree with. I like that. I agree with that. That part of it, I agree.
So here's how I view all of this. I'm going to break this down to two parts. So first, check out this chart, okay? It looks a little crazy. Don't worry, it's not that bad. We're going to go over the stock vocabulary, and then we're going to go over ways to apply the vocabulary so that you can get playing, okay? So let's look.
See, here's the thing I'm afraid of, bro. I'm trying to be good. I told you, I'm trying to watch this in good faith. I'm trying to watch this in good faith right now. What I'm afraid of is I want it. The thing that I'm most afraid of is, notice how we're almost 3 minutes into the video, and presumably, unless the background music, I don't know, I got to go back and check the background music out. We haven't heard him play yet. Why would you start off a video about how you went from zero jazz skills to pro in 2 years without an example of like, yo, check out what I can do. How did I learn how to do this? I mean, this is like a free video critique from my dude, I guess. You know, like, because I'm like, again, like, no one puts these type of videos up if they don't want to be like, if they're not trying to be genuine and serious, right? So if you do want to be serious about doing this, like, put up a clip. Like, it sounds like he's coming from a more like academic background, and that's how we was able to kind of formulate things that make sense for him. But if we've learned anything about jazz, jazz doesn't make sense, right? Jazz doesn't make sense. So that's we know that. So I need to hear the context, and I kind of want to jump around to hear, like, before I even hear. Okay, I see his hands moving. Before I listen to any more of this in the middle, I want to hear, like, okay, most replayed. Is this because when he starts playing? Okay, here we go. Let me read what it sounds like.
Cliches as part of Western music, right? And then you get melodic cliches.
Play.
Like this over C major. We hear this all the time. It's been done forever, you know? And if you want to get specific.
Okay. That. Maybe he's just demonstrating. Come on, man. Play a solo. Like, I want you to rip. Is this it? Is this it at the end?
More accessible styles. 4-note. This is your D minor. And then your your G7 might be something like this, you know? Chord melodies. The moon. You know?
Bruh, do I have to finally do I have to do this? Do I have to make, like, do I have to do it? Do I have to make the video why you need a swing? Again, there's so much, like, objectively sounding good. Like, this is okay. Like, this is objectively music. But, like, this video got 103,000 views. Let me skim through this, bro. I want to hear, like, there got to be some swing, right? Like, he has to talk about swing, right? Let's skim through all of this. Let's go through all this video. I'm gonna press the right arrow key, and I'm gonna go through the whole video from when he first talks about this matrix thing, and see if the word swing, let's see if the word swing appears anywhere. Again, let's see if it appears anywhere. Looking for the word. Oh, swing rhythm. Okay, let's see how he talks about swing rhythm. Perfect.
Just some comping patterns, okay? And comping patterns are really just going to be based off of having a strong swing rhythm. Okay?
I want to hear it. I want to hear the strong swing rhythm. Because why didn't you play that at the end?
It for a while. You don't need to go look up complex jazz rhythms. Just really understand swing, and we'll talk about specific comping patterns.
No. Go back. No, dude.
Just really understand swing, and we'll talk about specific comping patterns.
So, okay. All right, come on. Talk about.
And so these are kind of like my smaller the units become. So bass, or this is the big one, because this is and voicings, and then
I'm looking for swing.
and
I'm looking for
chords.
swing, bro.
Okay, the thing here, simple as just you be simple.
Yep, theory. Okay, theory.
And then when it comes to rhythm,
okay, here we go.
These three comping patterns will take you a long way. Okay, the reverse Charleston.
I didn't know Red Garland was a comping pattern.
The Charleston, and the Red Garland rhythm. Are there more? Of course, but they're all kind of based off of these three. And when it comes to bass,
that's so interesting. Like, bro, talk to me about swing. All right, let me hear some walking bass first.
I could approach D or above this. Chromatic step below the D or above. All right, either way. I could do like something like makeup, did it again.
Right. So what a swing at? What a swing at?
Have a swing at? No voice. If you can major root essential.
19-minute video on Morphology Matrix, and ain't no swing coming in there.
It's
concerning to me.
Third. But this is all that doesn't matter. Play a bunch of sand.
I'm sure there's a bunch of cool stuff in this video, not taken away from it. I'm looking for one thing. The thing is swing. I'm looking for it.
Like C2 vocabulary. My favorite. The reason why spread voicings is high.
Okay, it's favorite spread voicings. I'm sure. All right, so
play this, and then so for this is not, and I think it's a thing.
Bro,
so a bunch of law. Bro, that's equally as important, or maybe even all those in these four.
Bro,
just the
bro,
and you do the help, and you might just
hello. Hello, we're almost at the end.
You know, and some.
I want y'all to see. the scroll. Look where we're at right now. We're almost at the end.
These in time. Do all to touch the more 5-note, 4-note voice.
I'm getting scared. There's not a lot of time left.
Melody, and then. That's where I'm playing three parts: the melody, the bass, and then the inside chords.
Advanced styles. 3-part bossa.
That's real perspective. Completely transformed my playing. So get jazz from this. That's really it in a nutshell. And so approaching jazz from this kind of perspective completely transformed my playing. So get out there and start practicing with this mindset of accumulating stock vocabulary.
Bro, I'm so confused. Bro, that's what Dan Jams, thank you. You gotta swing. Now check out this bossa groove. Like, again, I'm not trying to throw shade at this. Here's the thing, y'all. I want y'all to understand one thing, and anybody who might be watching this video in the future might not understand this, and that's fine. Take it however you want. But one thing you gotta realize is that I'm not talking smack about this dude right here specifically. This is the issue when you try to learn jazz on your own in today's world, thinking that your own methodology is the correct one, right? It's like, this is, you know, I found this thing, and because jazz is whatever I want it to be, and the expression, it's not classical music where I got to follow a conductor. Jazz is whatever I want it to be. You know, I can do this and it's fine. Eventually, you know, it might not be perfect, but whatever. This is fine if you're playing music for yourself. The problem is, there's a lot of people out here that want to be professional musicians, and they have aspirations to be professional musicians someday. They might be young, 13, 14, 15, whatever, or they might be older, you know, 30, 40, and they heard some, or maybe in the 50s, 60s, whatever, and they heard some jazz before, and they're trying to figure out, how do I get to it? And they're not going to click on the video that has like 2.k views. They're going to click on this that has 103 views. Why are they going to click on the video? Sorry, 103,000 views. Why are they going to click on the 100k view video? Because usually, at least back in the day, if you see an educational video that has a lot of views and a lot of likes, well, here's the thing. You can't see the dislikes, first of all. But if it had a lot of likes, a lot of views, it's probably reputable because it means it was shared a lot and people trust it and people found something valuable out of it. That's the problem I have. Because this video is insinuating that you can go from, here's the thing, this might, for him or for anybody else, saying that, like, you know, this I went from zero, in 2 years, I went from knowing nothing about jazz to being a professional, it's like, it's cool if that works for you and what you want to do. But you're putting this content on YouTube that people like me have to now fight against in order to like keep people be on the right track. Because people are going to watch this video and think that, yeah, there's a lot of people out there that, and here's the problem. If the world were analog like it used to be, right? If the world were analog like it used to be, then it didn't matter how 0 to whatever in 2 years you got. It didn't matter. What would matter is, can you play? Do people in the scene think you can play well enough to hire you for a gig and to get with like a record label or make a recording with somebody, meet this people, whatever? That's what is a testament. But you got people that you can just blow up on the internet now and make money. Like if nobody says anything about this type of content, the small minority of hip jazz musicians that have been doing this for 20, 30 years, like, or longer, like the small minority can't make a dent in the overwhelming majority of people who don't know anything about jazz, but have the earnest and honest desire to get better at it and to learn it. We can't put a dent in that. So like, we have to like kind of get together to like talk about this. And the great thing would be if I didn't have to look at this video and critique it. If it was just like, people like him would be like, okay, I'm sharing this because it might be valuable to somebody, but this is just what works for me. I need to check the end of the video to see if he says that.
But that's really it in a nutshell. And so approaching jazz from this kind of perspective completely transformed my playing. So get out there and start practicing with this mindset of accumulation.
Okay. See, this is what I was hoping for. He did not say, hey, this just worked for me. If you want to go for it, go for it. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but this is worked for me. No, he said, this is how I went from this. You go out there and do this. It's like, so people gonna do it. They gonna do it, man. Like, it's this is what I'm saying. Absolutely, Brooklyn. You're right. Say that loud for the people in the back. Jazz is not money. There's nothing to hustle. It's about the work. Exactly. And that's the reason why I try to tell people that professionalism doesn't have anything to do with skill. Professionalism is just who likes you. So if you can find the right group of people who like you, you can play whatever you want, right? Shed Swing, thank you. This video wouldn't have been a problem if it was just a voicing harmony video with bossa grooves. No, this is how I went from 0 jazz to it just, the only reason why I'm so hard on this video is because it's disingenuous to make a title like this. Because it's okay if you're in the beginning stages of learning. There's nothing wrong with being a beginner. I don't want anyone to take away from this video that it's bad to be a beginner. No, of course not. The point is not that. The point is, when you are clearly a beginner, you've only been doing this for 2 years, and you're going on a video getting 100K views pretending to be the expert and knowing jazz morphology. And I don't want to discourage this guy from doing stuff. It would be amazing if somebody like this guy, Charlie Tran, if Mr. Tran would reach out to the pros and say, hey, what do you think of this thing? This is something I discovered. Like, is this cool? Like, what you think, whatever, like, how do you feel about this? Don't go to like pros as in like some random teacher at a university you never heard of. Go to New York, take a trip. Or if you can't live in New York, whatever, go to a jazz club where people are actually playing. Show them this concept, right? Like, but a lot of these people are too afraid to do that. I'm not trying to say Charlie is the person that's afraid to do that. I'm not trying to make any assumptions about him. I'm just watching the video. What I'm saying is, if you want to know how accurate your thing is, go test it in the actual field. I see a lot of I'm gonna tell y'all another story about speaking of expertise and testing it. Last thing I'm gonna leave y'all with for this part of the video. So, James Moody, one of the most incredible saxophone players of all time, legend, of course, we love him. And I was at the Jamie Aebersold camp back in this is the second year I went, so 2009. And after James Moody gave a masterclass, it was time for my combo to practice in that room. So I was getting my horn out, getting ready to play. There was this 21-year-old kid from Australia. He was playing tenor, ripping like Michael Brecker type of stuff. And he was doing like altissimo, because everyone likes to do that. And James Moody, he was like 80 at the time, or 81. He came up to this 21-year-old kid who was quite literally 4 times younger than him. Not half, 4 times younger than him. And instead of saying, oh, you ain't playing nothing. Like, you can't take it. You know what he did? He went up to this kid. Listen, he went up to this kid and he said, son, how are you playing that? Like, what fingers you using to play that? What are you doing? And then this kid, the 20-year-old kid, he was like kind of dumbfounded. Looks like, oh, I'm doing this, kind of whatever. And then James was like, oh, okay, thank you. That's cool. And he went back, turned around, and he started practicing the thing that the 20-year-old kid told him. I was 16 years old at the time. You know what that did to me? That taught me the most incredible lesson I could ever learn. That was incredible. I was telling Joe Farnsworth that story the other day because I think it's so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, here it is. Like, imagine if I saw at 16 just like this old cantankerous, like, oh, he ain't doing nothing. This young blood, he ain't doing whatever. We used to play the real stuff back in the day. No, man, I see like I see people like close to my age saying this type of stuff, 40s and 50s. I see a lot of people. I see those types of people like saying that, but never like the oldest cats, like that are really the elders of the scene. They all love. And James Moody went to this young kid, 21 years old, and said, what are you playing? James Moody only had 2 years left to live. He didn't know that. But he only had 2 years left to live. Only is that he don't have to learn nothing from nobody. Technically, he can sit on his laurels and be like, yeah, I'll play with Dizzy Gillespie. I'm one of the most influential players of all time. You know, like I made a hit out of a standard. You know, like Moody's Move for Love. I changed the whole name of the song. He could do whatever he want. But he went up to that cat and said, how do you do this? Okay, and then he started practicing it. But instead, in 2025, what happens if I drag James Moody out, you know, the spirit of James Moody and say, hey, man, look at this guy who said he learned jazz in 2 years and is going to and instead of like testing it with like the pros and you know, the cats in the scene or DMing anybody, you know, and asking if this is cool to put up, if this thing you think will help people, if these whatever, he just put it up and got a bunch of views. And as someone who's made 100,000 views or whatever, that's a cool $100, $200 or whatever. If it's fast enough, it's total revenue. So my man made a cool like $100, $200 or whatever off of a video that doesn't talk a single second about like swing and why it's important or any of the elements. It's just this, you know, whatever. And how would he feel about that? You know what I'm saying? The funny thing is like the old cats, they probably wouldn't be as up into this as I would. They'd just be like, well, you know, if he would, you know, blah, 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 you know, they just take it easy because they're at peace. But I don't think they would be very happy about, you know, someone like taking the entire history of what we did and what we've done for this music for the past 150 years and simplifying it to 2 years and telling everybody that you can just do this simple pseudo-academic morphology thing, whatever, and then you're good and you can be a pro because the ultimate goal of being a jazz musician is a pro. Clearly, being able to get a gig is the ultimate goal of a jazz musician, is to play restaurants. Because, like, who you playing with? Again, like, the only thing I don't like about this time period is that, like, obviously, I think we put too much emphasis on personal happiness, right? And not enough on, like, duty, responsibility, group health, group improvement. It's all just like in the West, like, what can I do for myself? Like, what is me? And it's like, you should be wanting to do whatever you can to play with people, like, and uplift everything around you and the people around you. Like, that should be the thing, right? Like, let's get in this, let's do this. And jazz is the ultimate, like, Western art form for that, is doing that. And that's the thing about swinging. Like, you know, even Brazil, like, you know, even reducing bossa to what a straight rhythm that has syncopation in it. That's one of the reasons why I hated bossa for many years until I heard actual Brazilian music. I didn't like it because it's like everybody I heard play it just was like an excuse to play just straight patterns, like straight syncopation. It wasn't no groove in it. It's like no articulation or whatever. It's like what is that? So I don't know. I think I don't like ranking on my man here. I just really think that if we want to improve, like, just talk the cats. Like, talk to cats. And if you're too afraid, I mean, just don't put your stuff up. Like, because like when you put your stuff up open like this, you're opening up to anybody talking about it. So here I am talking about it. And like, you know, we would like, I said, listen, y'all know who I talked about before 2 years ago. Remember who I talked about 2 years ago? About the person that said they felt like gate kept in the community. Like, you know, the reason that they don't go to jazz clubs is they felt like it was gatekeeping and whatever. It's like, I made a bunch of comments about a lot of people. And just because you find success financially, like, does not make you a good player. But if being a good player doesn't matter to you, then that's fine. Not everybody has to be a good player. Some people like, oh yeah, like, you know, this cat broke. Like, everybody talking about playing on these notes and extra notes here. Like, they playing like, you know, oh man, what's the difference between a jazz guitarist and a rock guitarist? You know, a rock guitarist plays 3 notes for 3,000 people. A jazz guitarist plays 3,000 notes for 3 people. I'm so funny, guys. As if that's the point.